There is yet another way to construct an array. Quite often you need to create an array and fill it with initial values, so Java has it set up so you can do both in one statement. Here at the top is the declaration of an int array. Instead of a new statement to create the actual array, there is a series of int values inside squiggly braces. This is the same as if there were a new statement creating an array of 5 int values and then a statement for each int storing a value into each one. You can't see it, but the code to do that is actually there. A text window is then constructed to be used for display. The first thing that happens is the length of the array, that is, the number of members in the array is displayed. Now, every array object has a read-only value named length that contains the size of the array. The part method of text window is called to start a line on the output. This loop executes once for each member of the array. You can see how the loop counter is set to run from 0 to the length of the array. When you're looping through the members of an array like this, it's always best to use the value of length. That way your loop always executes the correct number of times. If you try to index beyond the end of an array, your program will crash and an out-of-bounds exception will be thrown. Anyway, inside the body of the loop, a call is made to include the current value as part of the output line being constructed with a series of calls to part. Once the line is constructed in the output, the call to the line method ends the current line. Now, this is the declaration of a two-dimensional array of double values. The values are organized in the braces. The outer braces contain the 3 items, each of which is separated by commas and enclosed in braces of its own. There are 3 sets of inner braces, so the outside brace pair contains 3 members. Each of the 3 pairs of the inner braces contains a list of 4 numbers separated by commas, so each of the inner arrays will contain 4 members. The array this creates, then, is 4 by 3. Here a blank line is inserted into the output. This line displays the length of the outer array, the parent array. It's the number of members addressed by the first leftmost subscript. Here is the outer iteration. Its values range from 0 to the number of members of the parent array. At the top of this loop, the length variable of the current member of the array is displayed. This inner loop executes once for each member of this single-dimensional array and adds the value of the number to the output. Notice how the length variable is addressed here. Because the subscript is specified, the length variable is the one of the inner array instead of the overall outer array. Keeping track of which subscript does what can be confusing. Just remember this. The subscripts further to the right move the fastest. As you can see here, the value of I is the outer loop index and counts much slower than J, which is used as the counter for the inner loop. The J index is the one that's on the right. Let me show you how this looks when the program runs. This window displays all the sizes and all the values held in the arrays. At the top, you can see that the one-dimensional array has 5 members, and you can see what their values are. The two-dimensional array contains 3 rows and 4 columns, and the lengths of each are determined and displayed. If you want, you can compare the values displayed here with the original code and see that the layout is the same. The values were chosen to help you see that layout. Now, don't slough this off. If you don't understand exactly how arrays are constructed, you need to do some experimenting. You need to understand everything that's in all 3 of these array movies, not just the way that you have decided to do things.